Ryan Carter stepped off the shuttle onto the smooth stone floor of Zorath Academy. The air smelled clean and strange, like metal mixed with fresh rain. Tall towers of white and silver rose around him. Lights glowed softly from the walls. Aliens of many kinds walked past. Some had scales, some had fur, some had extra arms or long tails. They all moved with purpose. Ryan was 28 years old. He came from Earth. His hair was dark and short. His eyes were brown and calm. He wore the standard gray trainee uniform. It felt stiff on his shoulders. A small bag hung from his back. Inside were only clothes, a few tools, and one old photo of his family back home. Humans were new to the galaxy. Earth joined the interstellar concord only 10 years ago. Most aliens saw humans as small and weak. They said humans had soft skin and no natural weapons. Ryan heard the whispers many times during the long trip here. He just listened. The opening ceremony started in the Great Hall. Hundreds of trainees stood in neat lines. Instructors in dark blue robes walked along the rows. They checked names and ranks. Ryan stood at the end of the novice line. Novices were the lowest rank. They got the hardest jobs and the least respect. A soft bell rang. The crowd became quiet. From a high platform, a tall figure stepped forward. It was Princess Ilara Voss. She was the heir to the Voss Dominion. Her people looked like big cats that walked on two legs. Her fur was silver and shiny. It caught the light like metal. She wore a light crown of blue gems. A long red cape flowed behind her. Green eyes were sharp. She moved like someone who always got what she wanted. Ilara walked down the steps. Trainees bowed their heads as she passed. She stopped at each group of top candidates. Good form. Strong build. You will do well. The chosen one smiled and stood taller. Then she reached the novice line. She moved slowly. Her boots made soft clicks on the floor. She looked at each face. Most novices kept their eyes down. Some shook a little. When she came to Ryan, she stopped. Ryan looked straight ahead. He did not bow. He did not shake. He just stood still. Ilara tilted her head. She studied him from head to toe. Her nose wrinkled slightly. "A human," she said. Her voice was clear and cold. Another soft-skinned newcomer playing at being a guardian? She turned to the trainees near her. "Look at him. No claws, no scales, no strength in those thin arms. Step aside, human. This path is not for weaklings." Laughter came from some of the older trainees. A few pointed. Others looked away, embarrassed for him. Ryan felt the heat in his face, but he kept his expression blank. He gave a small nod. "Understood, Princess," he said quietly. His voice was steady. Ilara raised one eyebrow. She seemed surprised he answered at all. Then she laughed, a short, sharp sound. "At least he speaks. That is something." She waved her hand. "Move along. You waste my time." Ryan stepped back without another word. The line moved forward. Ilara continued her walk. She soon forgot about him. She picked her team for the coming trials. She chose the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. All from old, proud species. Humans were not on her list. After the ceremony, trainees went to their rooms. Ryan's room was small. One bed, one desk, one window that looked out on the jungle beyond the academy walls. The jungle was thick and dark green. Strange calls came from it at night. Big shapes moved in the shadows sometimes. He sat on the bed and opened his bag. He took out the photo. It showed his parents and little sister smiling in front of their house on Earth. He touched the glass gently. For all of us. Ryan was not like most humans who came here. He did not join because he wanted fame or power. He joined because Earth needed guardians. The galaxy was dangerous. Pirates attacked weak ships. Monsters lived on many worlds. If humans wanted respect, they had to prove they could stand with the others. But Ryan had a secret. Years ago, Earth scientists found something special in some humans. A quiet link to animal minds. Not magic, just a deep sense. Like how dogs knew when their owners were sad, or how wolves followed a strong leader. With training and small implants in the brain, some humans could feel predator instincts. They could calm them, guide them, even make them obey. Ryan trained in secret for 5 years. He lived in wild places on Earth. Forests, deserts, mountains. He faced bears, lions, snakes. He learned not to fight. He learned to understand. His implant helped. It made the link stronger. He never told anyone at the academy. Not yet. That night, Ryan could not sleep. He stood at the window. The jungle looked alive. He closed his eyes. He reached out with his mind, just a little. He felt something big move far away. A heavy body, sharp teeth, hunger, but also caution. The creature sensed him too. It paused, then it moved on. Ryan opened his eyes and smiled a small smile. Tomorrow, the first trial would start, the apex hunt. Trainees would go into that jungle. They would face real beasts. The goal was simple. Find a rare crystal in the deep wilds, survive 3 days, come back alive. Most novices would team up. They would hide behind the strong ones. Ryan had no team. No one asked him to join. That was fine. He liked working alone. In the morning, trainees gathered at the gate. Instructors gave final words. The wilds are not kind. Apex beasts rule there. Gorath, shadow panthers, shriekers, they hunt anything that moves. Stay sharp. Stay together if you can. Princess Alara stood with her chosen team. They carried good weapons, energy blades, shields, armor. She looked confident. We will bring the crystal back first, she said loudly. The rest of you can watch and learn. Her eyes passed over Ryan again. She smirked. Try not to die too fast, human. Ryan met her gaze for 1 second. Then he looked away. He adjusted his small pack. Inside were basic tools, a knife, rope, water filter, and one hidden device for his implant. The gate opened. Teams went in one by one. Alara's group marched ahead. They laughed and talked. Ryan waited until last. When his turn came, he walked in alone. The jungle swallowed him. Leaves brushed his arms. The air grew thick and hot. Sounds filled his ears. Clicks, growls, distant roars. Ryan took a slow breath. He felt calm. This was not new to him. He had trained for this. Far ahead, Alara's team moved fast. They talked about easy victory. Behind them, Ryan moved quietly. He watched tracks in the dirt. He listened to the wind. He felt the minds of the beasts around him. The hunt had begun. Word count, 1,200. Ryan Carter walked deeper into the jungle. The trees stood tall and close together. Their leaves blocked most of the sunlight. Only small spots of light reached the ground. The dirt felt soft under his boots. Dead leaves and vines covered everything. Each step made a quiet sound. He moved carefully. He did not want to make noise. Big beasts lived in this place. They heard everything. Ryan kept his breathing slow and even. He looked at the ground for tracks. He saw small prints from little animals. Then he saw bigger ones. Deep claw marks. Something heavy had walked here not long ago. In the distance, he heard voices. It was Princess Alara and her team. They spoke loudly. They laughed sometimes. Their energy blades hummed as they cut through thick plants. The sound carried far in the quiet jungle. Ryan stayed hidden. He followed from behind a line of trees. He did not want them to notice him yet. Her silver fur shone even in the dim light. 6 strong fighters followed her. One had hard green scales, Another had 4 arms and moved fast. They all carried strong weapons. Small shields glowed on their arms. Blades looked sharp and bright. "We will find the crystal before dark," Ilara said in a clear voice. "Nothing will stop us." Her team agreed. They felt safe in their group. Ryan watched them from far. He closed his eyes for a moment. A warm feeling came from the small implant in his head. He reached out with his thoughts. Not far. Just enough to feel. Something watched back. Hunger. Strength. A dark shape moved between the trees. It was a shadow panther. Its fur was black like night. Its eyes glowed yellow. It hunted alone most times. Now it watched Ryan. Ryan did not move fast. He did not reach for his knife. He sent a calm feeling. Peace. No danger here. The panther stopped. Its ears turned. It came closer, on soft paws. Ryan opened his eyes. The panther stood 10 feet away. It stared at him. Ryan stared back. He stayed still. The panther lowered its head a bit. Then it turned and slipped away into the dark trees. Ryan breathed out slowly. That was good. The first meeting went well. He kept following the team. They left easy signs to track. Broken branches, clear footprints. Ryan moved like a shadow himself. Time passed. The sun dropped lower. The jungle turned darker. Day sounds stopped. Night sounds began. Low clicks, soft growls. Ilara's team stopped in a small open space. They sat down to rest. They took out food bars and water. They talked about how easy the trial would be. Ryan found a good spot. He climbed a thick tree. He sat on a strong branch. From here, he could see the team and much of the jungle around them. Then trouble came. A deep growl rolled through the trees. Not one growl, many. Black shapes moved fast. Shadow panthers. 7 of them. They formed a circle around the clearing. Ilara stood up fast. "Get ready," she called. Her team grabbed their weapons. Shields lit up. Blades hummed louder. The panthers jumped in. They moved quick and quiet. One attacked the scaled warrior. He swung hard. His blade hit the panther's side. It cried out and jumped back. Red blood dripped on the ground. Another panther leaped at Ilara. She turned fast. Her cape flew out. Her blade sliced the air. The panther twisted away. Its claws scraped her shield. Bright sparks flew. The team fought hard. They stood close together. They blocked and struck. But the panthers were too many. They attacked from every side. They bit at legs, clawed at arms. One fighter dropped his weapon. Another fell down with a shout. Ilara gave orders. "Hold the line. Push them away." They tried, but the panthers kept coming. Ryan watched from the tree. He felt the pack's anger, their need to hunt. It had old scars on its face. It was the leader. It watched everything. Ryan closed his eyes again. He reached out, not just to one, to all of them. He sent calm thoughts. "No need for blood. You are strong. Rest now." A few panthers slowed. One looked around like it was confused. The leader growled loud. It charged straight at Ilara. Ilara lifted her blade high, ready to meet it. Ryan knew he could wait no longer. He dropped from the branch. He landed without sound. He walked into the open space, not running, just walking straight. The panthers saw him. Some turned. They growled low. Ilara saw him. Her eyes opened wide. "Human, get out of here! Run!" Ryan did not run. He kept walking closer. The leader panther turned to face him. It was huge, muscles tight under black fur, eyes burned. Ryan stopped 5 feet away. He looked right into those eyes. No fear showed on his face. He sent the feeling again. "Respect. You lead well. I see your strength. No fight today." The leader froze. Its body stayed stiff. Then its head came down. Just a little. The other panthers stopped moving. They looked at their leader, then at the human. The fight slowed. Alara's team stood still. Their weapons stayed up. They stared. Ryan took one small step forward. He held out his hand, palm open, not to hit, just open. The leader sniffed the air near his hand. It stepped back one pace. Then it turned. It walked away slow. The rest of the pack followed, one after another. They disappeared into the dark trees like smoke. The clearing became quiet again. Alara lowered her blade slowly. She breathed hard. She looked at Ryan. "How did you do that?" Ryan turned to her. "They chose not to fight," he said in a calm voice. Her team helped their wounded stand. They all stared at Ryan. Some looked afraid. Some looked amazed. One fighter spoke. "Did he speak to them? Period." "No," Ryan answered. "I felt what they felt." Alara walked closer. Her fur stood up on her neck. "You are not like other humans." Ryan gave a small shrug. "I am just me." He looked at the jungle. "The crystal is still far ahead. We should move." Alara looked at her team. They were hurt, but alive. She looked back at Ryan. She did not invite him to walk with them, but she did not send him away. They started walking again. Ryan stayed a short distance behind. He kept watch on the trees. He felt more eyes now. Not angry eyes, curious ones. The trial had more dangers waiting deeper in. For now, the jungle stayed quiet around them. Ryan walked on. He felt ready. Word count, 1205. The jungle grew thicker as the group moved deeper. Vines hung like thick ropes from the trees. The air felt heavy and wet. Every breath tasted like green leaves and earth. The light from the sky almost disappeared. Shadows stretched long and dark between the trunks. Alara led her team with quick steps. Her silver fur looked dull now from dirt and sweat. One of her fighters limped from a claw mark on his leg. Another held his arm close to his body. The fight with the shadow panthers had left them tired and hurt. Still, they kept going. The crystal waited somewhere ahead. They needed it to pass the trial. Ryan walked behind them. He stayed far enough that they did not have to talk to him. But he stayed close enough to hear their words and feel the jungle around them. His eyes moved from side to side. He watched the leaves. He listened to every sound. A low rumble came from the ground, not loud at first, then louder. The dirt shook a little under their feet. Birds flew up from the trees in a rush. Small animals ran into holes. Alara stopped. She raised her hand. "Wait," she said. "Something big is near." Her team formed a tight circle. Weapons came out again. Shields glowed blue. They looked around but saw nothing yet. The rumble grew into a roar. Trees cracked and bent. A huge shape pushed through the thick plants. It was a Gorath. Not just any Gorath. This one was the Alpha. Its body stood taller than two men standing on each other's shoulders. Scales covered it like dark gray armor. Spikes ran down its back. Its mouth opened wide. Rows of sharp teeth shone wet. Its eyes burned red like hot coals. The Alpha Gorath stopped 20 feet away. It lowered its head. Smoke came from its nostrils. It stared at the group. Then it charged. The ground shook harder. Trees snapped like small sticks. Alara shouted, "Spread out! Hit its sides!" Her team moved fast. The scaled warrior ran left. The four-armed one ran right. They swung their blades at the beast's legs. Sparks flew when metal hit scales. The Gorath did not slow. It swung its thick tail. The tail hit the four-armed fighter. He flew through the air and crashed into a tree. He did not get up. Alara jumped high. She landed on the Gorath's back. Her blade stabbed down between the spikes. The beast roared in pain. It twisted hard. Elara lost her hold. She fell to the ground. She rolled away just as a huge foot came down where she had been. The other fighters attacked again. One threw a small grenade. It exploded against the Gorath's side. Smoke rose. The beast turned fast. Its claw caught the thrower. Blood sprayed. The fighters screamed once and went quiet. Elara stood up. Her cape was torn. Dirt covered her face. She held her blade with both hands. "We can do this," she said, but her voice shook a little. The Gorath turned toward her. It opened its mouth wide. A deep roar came out. Hot breath washed over her. She stepped back. Her foot caught on a root. She fell. The beast raised one front leg. Claws spread like knives. It came down fast. At that moment, Ryan stepped out from the trees. He walked straight into the open space between Elara and the Gorath. He did not run. He did not shout. He just walked forward. Elara saw him. "Human, no! Get back!" The Gorath saw him too. Its red eyes locked on the small figure. It paused. The huge legs stayed in the air. Ryan stopped 5 feet from the beast. He looked up. The Gorath towered over him like a mountain. Its breath came in hot waves. Saliva dripped from its teeth. Ryan did not reach for his knife. He did not raise his hands to fight. He stood still. His brown eyes met the red ones calmly. He closed his eyes for a second. The warm feeling from his implant grew strong. He reached out with his mind. Not with anger, not with fear, with understanding. He felt the Gorath's thoughts. Old anger, hunger that never went away, pain from old wounds, loneliness as the only one of its kind left in this part of the jungle. Ryan sent back his own feelings, respect for its strength, no wish to take its place, just calm, just peace. The Gorath's legs slowly came down. It did not strike. It touched the ground gently. The beast lowered its huge head. Smoke still came from its nose, but slower now. Elara stared. She still held her blade. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. The other fighters who could still stand watched in silence. Their weapons stayed up, but they did not move. Ryan took one small step closer. He raised his hand slowly, palm open. The Gorath sniffed the air near his fingers. Its nostrils flared. Then it pushed its head forward just a little. The rough scales brushed Ryan's hand. Ryan stayed calm. He sent more feelings. "You are safe. Go rest now." The Gorath made a low sound, not a roar, more like a deep sigh. It turned its body slowly. Its huge feet moved careful now. It walked away. Trees bent as it pushed through them. Then it was gone. The jungle became quiet again. Elara sat on the ground. Her blade fell from her hand. She looked at Ryan. That was impossible. Ryan turned to her. "It was not impossible," he said quietly. "It just needed to be understood." One of the fighters spoke in a low voice. He made the Alpha bow. The Alpha. Another fighter helped the wounded one sit up. They all looked at Ryan like he was something new, something they had never seen before. Elara stood up slowly. Her legs shook a little. She walked closer to Ryan. Her green eyes studied his face. "You did not fight it. You did not hurt it." "I did not need to," Ryan answered. She looked at the place where the Gorath had gone, then back at Ryan. "What are you?" Ryan gave a small smile. The first real one since he arrived at the academy. "Just a human who listens." Elara looked down at her torn cape, then at her team. They were hurt, tired, but alive because of him. She took a deep breath. "We still need the crystal. It is not far now." Ryan nodded. "Then we keep moving." He did not ask to join them. He just started walking toward the deeper part of the jungle. Elara watched him for a moment. Then she picked up her blade. She looked at her team. "Come on," she said. "We follow him." They started walking again. This time Ryan walked closer to the front, not beside Alara, but not far behind either. The jungle stayed quiet around them now. No more growls came close. No shadows moved fast in the trees. Far away, the huge Gorath watched from a hill. It did not come back. It just watched, its red eyes calm for the first time in many years. He did not look back. He kept his eyes ahead. The crystal waited, and so did the rest of the trial. The group walked on through the dark jungle. The air felt cooler now. Night had come fully. Small glowing bugs floated between the leaves. They gave soft blue light. It helped them see the path a little. Ilara walked near the front. She kept looking back at Ryan. Her green eyes showed many questions. She still held her blade, but it stayed low. No more attacks came. The jungle stayed quiet. Too quiet. Ryan felt the change. The beasts were not hiding anymore. They watched. Not to hunt, just to watch. He could sense them all around, in the trees, behind thick bushes, under the ground in hidden holes. Their minds touched his, like soft whispers. They reached a wide clearing. In the middle stood a tall stone pillar. Moss covered most of it. At the top sat the crystal. It was small, about the size of a fist. It glowed bright green. Light came from inside, like a trapped star. The crystal pulsed slowly. It looked alive. Ilara stopped. She stared at it. "There it is," she said. Her voice sounded tired but happy. "We made it." Her team spread out. They checked the ground. They looked up at the trees. No traps, no beasts in sight. They relaxed a little. Ryan walked forward slowly. He stopped a few steps from the pillar. He looked up at the crystal. Then he looked around the clearing. Shadows moved at the edges. Eyes glowed in the dark. Yellow eyes, red eyes, green eyes, many kinds. Ilara noticed too. She raised her blade halfway. "They are here," she whispered, "all around us." Ryan nodded. They came to see. One by one the beasts stepped into the open. First came the shadow panthers, the same pack from before. Their black fur looked like part of the night. They walked in a half circle. They did not growl, they just watched. Then came shriekers, big flying creatures with long wings and sharp beaks. They landed on thick branches above. Their wings folded, silent. More came, smaller beasts with hard shells, tall thin ones with many legs, and then the Alpha Gorath. It pushed through the trees last. Its huge body filled half the clearing. It stopped far back. It lowered its head. Smoke came slow from its nose. Ilara's team stepped closer together. Their shields lit up again, but no one attacked. The air felt heavy, like the whole jungle waited. Ilara looked at Ryan. "What do they want?" Ryan answered quietly. "They want to know who I am." He stepped closer to the pillar. The beasts did not move to stop him. He reached up. His fingers touched the crystal. It felt warm. The green light grew brighter for a moment. Then it calmed. He turned to face the beasts. He did not speak loud. He spoke in his mind. And they heard. "You are strong. You rule this place. I respect that. I do not come to take. I come to learn. And to show that not all who walk here want war. Simple. Clear. No tricks. No anger." The Alpha Gorath took one step forward. Its red eyes looked straight at Ryan. Then it bent its front legs. It lowered its huge body until its belly touched the ground. Its head came down low, almost to the dirt. The shadow panthers did the same, one after another. They sat on their back legs, heads low, eyes calm. The shriekers folded their wings tighter. They bowed their long necks. All the beasts in the clearing bowed, not out of fear, out of choice. Ilara dropped to one knee without thinking. Her blade touched the ground. Her team followed. They looked shocked, mouths open, eyes wide. Ryan stood in the middle, small human in gray clothes, surrounded by monsters that could kill armies. But they bowed to him. He looked at Ilara. "You can stand," he said gently. She rose slowly. Her hands shook a little. She walked to him. "I called you weak," she said. Her voice was low. "I laughed at you. I was wrong." Ryan shook his head. "You saw what everyone sees. Soft skin, no claws, no big size. It is easy to think that means weak." He looked at the beasts again. "But humans learned something long ago. We did not always fight the things with teeth and claws. Sometimes we listened. Sometimes we shared. Sometimes they followed us. Not because we forced them, because they chose to." Ilara looked at the Alpha Gorath. It still stayed low. "You made them bow without a fight." "Not made," Ryan said. "Asked, and they answered." One of the fighters spoke up. His voice sounded small. "Is this normal for humans?" Ryan gave a small smile. "Not for all, but some of us can do it. With training, with the right tools in our heads, and with time spent understanding instead of killing." Ilara touched the crystal. It came free from the stone easily. She held it in her hands. The green light made her silver fur glow. "You could have let us die. Back there with the Gorath. You did not." "I did not want anyone to die," he said. "Not you, not them." She looked down at the crystal, then back at him. "The trial is over. We have what we need." Ryan nodded. "Then we go back." He turned to the beasts. He sent one last feeling. "Thank you. Rest now. Protect this place." The Alpha Gorath rose slowly. It made a deep sound. Not angry. Almost like goodbye. Then it turned. It walked back into the trees. The others followed. Shadow panthers slipped away. Shriekers lifted into the air. Soon the clearing was empty again. Only the group remained. Ilara held the crystal tight. She looked at her team. "We walk out together," she said. "All of us." They started back. Ryan walked beside her now. Not behind, not in front, just beside. The jungle path felt different. Lighter, safer. No growls came close. No eyes watched with hunger. As they walked, "I thought humans were new. Soft. Nothing special." Ryan looked ahead. "We are new here. But we have been on our world a long time. We learned from hard lessons. We lost many to beasts once. Then we changed. We built tools. We built bonds. We survived." She nodded slowly. "And now the galaxy will see that." Ryan did not answer right away. He just kept walking. Behind them, far in the dark, the Alpha Gorath watched one last time. Then it disappeared into its home. The group moved toward the academy gate. The crystal glowed in Ilara's hand. Proof they finished the trial. But the real proof walked beside her. Quiet, calm. A human who did not need to shout his strength. The jungle stayed silent. The group reached the academy gate just as the first light of morning touched the sky. The tall white walls looked bright against the dark jungle behind them. Guards in blue armor stood at the entrance. They saw the tired trainees coming out. Their eyes opened wide when they noticed the glowing crystal in Ilara's hand. The gate opened with a low hum. Instructors waited inside on a wide stone platform. Other trainees who finished earlier stood in rows. They talked quietly. When they saw Ilara's team, the talking stopped. Ilara walked forward first. Her cape hung in pieces. Dirt covered her silver fur. But she held her head high. The crystal shone bright green in her open palm. She stopped in front of the main instructor, a tall alien with 4 eyes and gray skin. "We have the crystal," she said clearly. "We survived 3 days." The instructor took the crystal. He held it up so everyone could see. Soft cheers came from the crowd. Then the instructor looked at the group again. His eyes stopped on Ryan. "And you brought back more than the crystal," he said slowly. Everyone turned. Behind the group at the edge of the jungle, shapes waited. The Alpha Gorath stood tall but calm. Its huge body stayed still. Shadow panthers sat in a line on both sides. Their yellow eyes glowed softly. Shriekers perched on high branches. Their wings stayed folded. No growls, no sharp movements. They just waited. The crowd went completely quiet. Some trainees stepped back. Instructors reached for their weapons, but did not draw them. Ryan walked forward. He stopped a few steps from the platform. The beasts did not follow. They stayed where they were, watching. The main instructor spoke again. "Explain this." Ryan looked at him, then at the crowd. His voice stayed calm and even. "They chose to come. They are not here to fight. They are here to show respect." Alara stepped beside him. She spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. "This human walked into the wilds alone. He faced the same beasts we did, but he did not kill them. He understood them. He calmed them. When the Alpha Gorath charged us, he stepped in front. The beast bowed its head to him. Not to me, not to any of us, to him." Whispers spread through the crowd. Some trainees looked shocked, some looked angry. Most just stared. The instructor raised one hand for silence. "Show us." Ryan turned toward the jungle. He did not shout. He did not wave his arms. He just looked at the Alpha Gorath. The huge beast took one slow step forward, then another. The ground shook a little each time. It walked until it stood right in front of Ryan. Then it lowered its head again. Its nose almost touched the dirt. The other beasts did the same. Panthers sat lower. The whole clearing filled with bowed heads. A long silence followed. Then Alara did something no one expected. She walked to Ryan. She went down on one knee. Her head bowed low. "I called you novice. I called you weak. I was wrong. You are stronger than any of us knew. I ask your forgiveness." Her team followed. One by one they knelt. Even the ones still hurt from the fights. They bowed their heads. The crowd gasped. Princess Alara Voss never knelt to anyone, not even her own father. Ryan looked down at her. He spoke softly. "There is nothing to forgive. You spoke what you believed. Now you see something new." He reached out a hand. Alara took it. He helped her stand. She looked into his eyes. For the first time, no pride or coldness showed there, only respect. The instructor cleared his throat. This has never happened before. A novice commanding apex beasts, bringing them to the gate. Bowing to a human. He turned to the other instructors. They nodded slowly. He faced the crowd again. "Ryan Carter of Earth, you have passed the trial. More than passed. You have changed how we see your kind. From this day, humanity is no longer new and fragile. You are guardians in your own right." Cheers started small. Then they grew loud. Trainees clapped. Some shouted his name. Even the ones who laughed at him before now looked different. Ryan did not smile big. He gave a small nod. "Thank you, but I did not do this alone. The beasts helped. My team helped. Princess Alara helped." He looked at Alara. She gave a small smile back. The instructor raised his hand again. "The trial is over for this group. Rest, heal. Tomorrow we speak of what comes next." The crowd started to move. Trainees walked to their rooms. Instructors talked in low voices, but many kept looking back at the jungle edge. The beasts stayed a moment longer. Ryan turned to them. He sent one last calm feeling. "Thank you. Go home now. Be safe." The Alpha Gorath lifted its head. It made a deep, low sound. Then it turned. It walked back into the trees. The panthers rose and followed. The shriekers spread their wings and flew away. Soon, the jungle looked empty again. Alara stood next to Ryan. "They will remember you," she said. Ryan looked at the trees. I will remember them too. They walked toward the dorms together. The sun rose higher. Light filled the academy grounds. Everything looked new. Later that day, Ryan sat alone in his small room. He took out the old photo of his family. He looked at their smiles. We did it, he whispered. They see us now. A knock came at the door. He opened it. Ilara stood there. She wore clean clothes now. Her fur looked shiny again. No cape, just simple gray like the trainees. I wanted to say something, she said. Alone. Ryan stepped aside. The door closed behind her. She looked at the photo in his hand, then at his face. I thought humans had nothing to teach us. I was proud. Too proud. You showed me something better than pride. You showed me understanding. Ryan put the photo down. We all learn. Even me. I learned from Lu too. Strength is not just in size or weapons. It is in standing up when it matters. Ilara nodded. I want to learn more. From you. From Earth. Will you teach me? Ryan thought for a moment. Then he smiled. If you want to learn, I will teach. And maybe you can teach me too. She smiled back. A real smile. Then we start tomorrow. She turned to leave. At the door she stopped. Thank you, Ryan, for not letting me die, for showing me a better way. He nodded. Thank you for listening. She left. The door closed softly. Ryan sat on his bed. He looked out the window. The jungle looked peaceful now. No danger waited there today. He felt tired, but also strong. Not the strength of muscles, the strength of knowing who he was. Outside, word spread fast. Trainees talked about the human who made apex beasts bow. Instructors wrote reports. Messages went out to ships and planets far away. Humanity's place in the galaxy changed that day. Not with war, not with loud words, with quiet understanding. And in the jungle, far from the walls, the Alpha Gorath lay down in its den. It closed its red eyes. For the first time in many years, it slept without anger, without hunger for a fight. It dreamed of a small human who listened, and the galaxy listened too.